All right, guys, I've got a special one again today because they're all special, but this one's like extra special. This is Sarah. Sarah has done some killer things. She's collected millions in real estate. She has worked with some of the biggest names you've heard of in the entire space of info service in general. And well, she's still doing awesome things today. So I won't dive super duper deep into it. I want you guys to actually hear from her. Sarah, thank you so much for coming on. Are you ready to answer some questions for me and the people?
Sure thing, Colton. Anything for you.
Appreciate that. Okay, so question one I've got for you is you came from that real estate, right? A real estate background, serving people, and then you were setting on a monster offer. For anybody that's wondering, it was Tony Robbins and just crushing it. So, what made you decide you were like ready to become a closer? And be honest with me, what were those first few weeks of becoming a closer like?
Yeah, so the whole reason why everyone gets into high ticket sales and why I specifically did was freedom, time, and money, right? We wanted the freedom. You want to have management over your own time, and then you're uncapped, right? It's all based off of your own performance. So that was really the reason why I got into this. And then the first couple of weeks when I got into closing, I'm going to be fully transparent with you. It is much different than talking to someone in the real estate world because that's face to face. And also, even if you're bartending, right? Because you have that one on one connection with people. Over the computer is different. So it was definitely a learning curve for me. But once it clicks and once you find your groove, that's what really makes the difference. When you see all this stuff online and people pretend to be gurus, I feel like the biggest thing is you want to don't forget yourself. You want to still bring your own like zest into the call because that's when you're really going to succeed. And I think also the people that you surround yourself with to give you feedback that you just an outside perspective is super beneficial. And that is hard to find in the space.
Got it. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. To anybody that didn't know, she was a bartender. I was actually a bartender too. It feels like it just runs in the sales blood, huh? You got to
Mhm.
like get your teeth cut in with that one too. So kind of just was a learning curve, a little difficult, had to get adjusted to some things, but ultimately we obviously figured it out, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Figured it out. Yes. I think that it's a process, of course. And yeah.
Constantly adjusting and growing. That's the whole point. But if I remember correctly, you in your first full month collected six figures. You hit well over 10K in commissions your first full month closing. Like, what do you think made that possible so fast?
Feedback. I think that I can promise you in this business, call reviews are huge, right? Listening to yourself speak, getting that feedback from people, that constructive criticism. And that sucks at first, but if I had not done that, probably every day, you wouldn't have made the progress. I think truly you want to be able to lean on people that have done what you want to do, but you have to be able to take that feedback and apply it to your next call. At the end of the day, it sucks to get criticized. Of course, everyone hates it, but the better you are with accepting advice in this business, the better off you're going to be. I think that was the biggest transition for me. And then obviously too, your process is going to change over time, so you can't overcomplicate it and you can't overthink it. One call is not going to be like the rest, but every call should have the same framework. Having a framework to every closing call is going to be your success. You have to stay on track and then just keep doing closing calls. I can promise you, even after I collected 10K, I think I got to 20K. I've made a lot of progress over the years at this point. I can still get better. The whole point of like the difference between a good sales rep and a great sales rep is they never stop learning and training. And that is a big key to success in this business.
Could not agree more. Who did you get trained by and learn frame from?
Ugh, I knew you were going to ask this. So, this guy I met randomly, I found him on social media, I think it was, and we got on a call. And his name was Colton. He had some advice for me. He knew that I had gone through and set and done some things in my life, but he kind of opened my eyes to the possibility that closing could actually offer me. And I think that I had a pretty negative connotation at first because everyone makes it look easy. But Colton, you were honest with me. I appreciate that because truthfully, I did suck in the beginning. You don't have to lie. And without your help and your frameworks and even your objection handling, I don't think that I would be the closer that I am right now.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think this like if you guys aren't getting the running theme yet, just like Danielle, just like Makael and Owen, and just like Savannah and Austin, I will always believe in you,
Mhm.
right? I believe in people. I feel like I see it, and I want to give my best to these people as long as they're people that want to give their best to themselves, right?
Yep.
And that's something you did so well, is like you were the one that wanted to hear the feedback, good or bad, every single day. And that's what put you apart.
100%. And you're not afraid to give us the true answer. Like, I'm not someone who wants to be like baby feeted, footed around, if that's the expression. There's a different term for it, but I won't go there. But at the end of the day, like, Colton's going to be honest with you, and it's probably going to suck the first couple of times, but it will start to click. And if you ever think that someone's going to get past Colton with an objection, you're wrong. Because he will have a knife fight for 3 hours before he lets someone hang up. I can't say I do the same, but I try.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. So you've now collected and managed millions on one solo offer. And now we're kind of moving on because we have morals, right?
hmm
And when you look back at where you started, what's the biggest thing that actually moved the needle for you? Because I know you were a leader to begin with. I know you had sales skill and talent, but like, was there a specific thing that just like moved the needle, clicked, and like helped you start basically in March and run an offer and collect millions by June, or I'm sorry, January, right? Was there something that just moved the needle for you faster than you would say it would move it for most?
Mindset. I think a lot of the times you burn yourself out in this business. I've seen it time and time again, the short amount of time that I've been around it. And I think the biggest thing that changed for me is just honestly, you have to, one, have conviction in what you're selling. You need to know it works because that's going to portray on your sales call. And then from there, you need to be able to remove yourself in like time management, still do things that you want to do on the daily basis. Yes, working is great and taking 10 to 15 calls is great, but you burn yourself out faster. And I think that was one side of it. The other side of the cookie is the fact that it's a process like it clicks for you. Like once you get your framework, every call should be the same. And I think people overcomplicate it. You have different frameworks that fit in where there's different sections. As long as every call, doesn't matter what you're selling, you could do the same thing on whatever it is. As long as you follow that, it's going to become more comfortable. You're not on this call to sell a product. You're on this call to help the person on the other side fix the problems that they have. And I think when you can remove yourself from the actual sale aspect of it, it makes you three times the closer. And I think that's the thing that like really changes the perspective of who's a great closer and who is a like the best of the best, that top 10%. The overachievers of the world still make time for themselves. They take that criticism, but also it's not about the sale. Don't get commission breath. At the end of the day, you're going to have really great days. And then the next day, you're not going to close anything. You can't let it ruin your whole month over that. And that's a big thing. I think mindset was a huge shift for me. I think I used to get down on myself, but I would come to you and I'd be like, "Hey Colton, I had 6 calls today. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I can do this anymore." And every single time you'd be like, "Okay, tomorrow's a new day. Let's take a look at a call. Let's see what you did wrong, right?" And I
Yeah.
think that was the big thing that changed the needle is just keep your mindset positive and surround yourself with the right people. Work on the right offers. If you do not believe in what you're selling, don't do it. I'm sorry, there's a million offers out there. And if you want to be successful in this business, you need to get up every single day and be proud of what you're selling on the other side.
Yeah, you said so many good things. One, yes, I've absolutely talked a lot of
Yeah.
people off the cliff. But mindset is important. Like mindset in your day-to-day life, mindset in the way you jump on calls and actually serve people. And then absolutely, there are so many offers out there. So isn't it crazy that you guys can't seem to find any without paying thousands of dollars? Just
Mm.
saying. So I had a question lined up, and I don't want to ask it anymore. I just want to ask a different one. You being someone that did pay thousands of dollars and invested in yourself and did that thing, you're you're here and you're doing so well for yourself, and you have been in a completely different type of sales environment and completely different journeys of your life. What would you tell the person that is really curious about trying this out? They're nervous or worried about what if I waste, just for your reference, it's 67 bucks. What if I waste 67 bucks on this community? Blah, blah, blah. What would you tell that person that is like right there? looking at its screen, knowing that all they have to do is like press the button right below and join? Like, what would you tell them?
I mean, truthfully, $67 at this point is to a bag of groceries at the grocery store. So for me, I've spent much more than that. And even though like with one of the communities I was with, it didn't work out and it was ended up not being the best scenario. I still met Colton, so I don't regret it. So you're always going to have the goods and the bads, but for instance, if you want to get into this space, coming in at $67 is almost a no-brainer because if even if just working the math, like let's just say you get on an offer and you're setting for 5%. That offer is a $5,000 offer. That's 250 bucks off of one close. That's 1 hour of your time. And that's how I calculate everything in my head. At the end of the day, if you wake up and hate your job, if you spend 40 hours at that job every week to get, let's just say, make $1,000 a week, even that amount of time that you're spending hating your life, commuting, $67 gives you the opportunity to maybe see the other side that might be a little bit greener. And at the very least, you're going to meet a lot of awesome people that have been in this space for a long time. And connections rules the world. It's always about who you know. So you won't find a better price than that. That's for sure.
No, I totally agree, but I'm biased. Connection, community, it's all there, right?
hmm
And you're right. I mean, the math's pretty simple. You work an hour, you close one deal. As a setter, you're making $250 on a standard AOV offer.
hmm
That's not girl math, that's closer math. So I don't have any more questions for you. I can't stress this enough, guys. Like uh, Sarah is the walking testament of what you do with your mindset matters most. She's done a lot of successful things. She's, finding her flow, finding what brings her joy. She's recently engaged and she's just living her best life in Fort Lauderdale, like living it up, right? And it all came from like working really hard and
Believing in yourself.
believing in yourself. And I think that's one thing that despite having to walk you through stuff and help you with things and train you, I didn't have to do that for you. And I feel like I have to do that with a lot of people sometimes. And that's why so many people don't ever get across the line because
100%. That limited belief. Yeah.
nobody tells them or nobody tells them. It's like sometimes you just need to hear it. So I'm
hmm
telling you guys now, you can do it. You don't have to invest your whole life savings into it, and you can find out if this is for you. And if it's not, walk away. But maybe you end up being like Sarah. Maybe you end up being like me and you get to go help people more and more each and every day. But you never know until you do the thing. So, Sarah, thank you so much for your time. And I genuinely appreciate you. And I can't wait to see what you continue to do.
Bye, guys.